flying back in to my favorite spot in this entire map, the Dalai Lama in Junk Junction. What is going on, YouTube? The Assist Man, and I'm coming back at you guys with another YouTube video. Now, inside of this video, man, I'm playing solo by myself, some FortNite Battle Royale. And man, when I tell you this gameplay was weird, I literally landed here, and I didn't see a single person for like almost the entire game. Not even almost one person, almost the entire game, till it got down to like less than 20 people. I pretty much looted, I got me enough medical, and I survived in the storm, and then by the time I came out and got to the smaller circle, there was less than 20 people left, and then at the end of the game was like the all-time game of like hide and seek, a game of cat and mouse, where me playing tactically paid off, because in the long run, I came out on top at the end, man. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of this video so you can watch the cat and mouse hide and seek moves that I pulled towards the end. But that's the gameplay for you. In my videos, man, the gameplays are not important. They are only there for your entertainment viewing pleasures. In my videos, man, what we talk about and the topics that I bring are the most important part. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into that topic at hand. Now, what I want to talk about in this video, man, is the number one thing I hate about gaming. The number one thing I hate. You know, it was just a couple days ago, my friend was telling me about a game that I used to play that I fell in love with, that they were coming out with a part 2. And I was like, what game is that? And then he told me the name of the game, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could actually buy the second one, because the first game pissed me off so much. And just so you guys know, that game that I'm talking about is Tom Clancy's The Division. Now, some of you guys might know, if you follow my channel for a long time, I even had somebody leave me a comment a couple days ago saying that I said The Division was a great game. Yeah, The Division was a great game. Keyword in that phrase is was. See, they messed it up. And that pretty much brings me to the number one thing that I hate about video games and I hate about gaming, is that when you have a game that's really, really good, I'm talking about a top tier game, in your eyes, you know, in your opinion, when you have a game, man, that you love, you think it's the greatest game ever, and then the game just goes to shit, and they screw it all up by doing a multitude of different things. That pisses me off more than anything in gaming. When you have a game that you love so much, and then it just falls apart in like a matter of like 6 months to a year, due to a whole bunch of different implications. That is the number one thing I hate about gaming, man. Because Let's face it, guys. There's not been many good games that have came out in the past 5 years. I mean, if you look at how many games in total were released, a very, very small percentage of those games, I think most gamers would say, are good. A very small percentage. I think it's a big percentage of games that came out in the past 5 years that gamers would say they weren't good at all. So when you do find a game that you really, really like, and then you play it like every single day and you get addicted to it, and it becomes something that you really, really enjoy doing. You have a lot of fun playing it. All your friends like to play it, or you meet new friends playing it. It becomes a part of your life. And when something in your life drastically changes, it really, really, really sucks, because you're so used to playing, this one specific thing, one specific way, and then it changes for the worse. And then it's like, damn, like, what do you do now? It's so hard to move on to another game because you can't find that loving feeling, that the game that you were playing had. So it really is a pain in the ass. So when he started telling me about Tom Clancy's The Division Part 2, I was like, man, I don't even know if I could buy that game, because I fell in love with Tom Clancy's The Division 1. I love the game. But then it went to crap. A lot of stuff happened in that game, where if you guys played it, I'm sure you know what happened in that game. There was just tons and tons of broken stuff. I mean, the game pretty much just had constant hacks in it. Every single time a new thing would come out, somebody would find a way to hack it in like the first hour, post it all over Reddit, post it all over YouTube, and everybody would be doing a hack for it. Everybody. Tons of glitches, tons of bugs, tons of hacks. And then what happens? Well, the hack stays out for like 2 weeks before they even acknowledge it or fix it. By that time, everybody's done glitched the damn thing, hacked it, and beat it, and got everything they need for it, and now the game just goes back to step one. It becomes boring again because the entire thing that you were waiting for to happen finally came out, and everybody beat it like in the first hour because they hacked it. And then the developers didn't care about it at all, and it took them forever to even acknowledge or fix it or implement the patch in the game that it's like, damn, do they even care? Just... You know, the Division is one of the games. I could count on one hand how many games in the past 5 years that I have completely fell in love with. And by that I mean that it's my only game I play. I'm weird about gaming. I don't play like, you know, multiple games at a time. I pretty much play 1, maybe 2 games every day, and that's it. My friends usually play the same games I do. We all get addicted to them. We all love them, and that's pretty much what we play. You know, we communicate with each other. We get on like every day or every night or every other day, and we play, you know, the game with each other. And that's pretty much primarily the only game we play is that one game. And I can count on one hand how many games I felt are really, really great that has happened to, like in the past 5 years. I mean, obviously you got, you know, some of the games in the Call of Duty franchise, but another game I really, really felt that way about was Tom Clancy's The Division. Another game I felt that way about was Neverwinter. Now, I have a video that's very popular on my channel. It has like over, I think like 200,000 views, and I pretty much talk about why Neverwinter sucked, because they changed so many things. And I said specifically in the beginning of that video that Neverwinter was one of the greatest games I ever played. I loved the game so much. I spent like, from the day that game got released on Xbox One, I think I played that game for like 9 months straight for like 5 hours a day minimum. I played that game so much, but then they just kept changing things and hacks and glitches and bugs and all kinds of stuff that it just broke the game for me, and it made a lot of people leave the game. Not only just like all the friends that I played with, but a lot of people in general. I mean, damn, I seen Neverwinter at one time had over 1 million downloads on the Xbox One, and then after like 6-7 months, it only had like 30,000 active players. That's a lot of people to drop off your game in that short amount of time. So obviously something changed and something went wrong that many people would actually be forced or want to leave the game. But going back in, yeah, so The Division was one game that I really, really loved that fell apart. Neverwinter was another game that I really, really loved that fell apart. Those are just two of the biggest games I've played in the past 5 years that I could acknowledge off the top of my head. I'm really, really hoping FortNite, you know, doesn't go down that route, because I really, really love FortNite. But the number one thing that I hate about gaming and the games in general is when you really, really find a game that's great and then it just goes to shit, man. It just changes. And that could be to a variety of different things. And games like The Division and Neverwinter will fall into almost every single one of these categories that I'm about to mention, why a great game can go to such a bad game in such a short period of time. When the games have constant glitches and bugs and hacks in them, and they basically are just constant. Like, you know, they'll unveil one thing and then it'll be glitched or hacked to death, and they won't even acknowledge it or fix it for like 2 to 3 weeks. And then the following month, they'll release like another thing, and then the same exact thing. It's like a rinse and repeat. They release something, there's glitches, there's, you know, hacks you can do in the game, and people just take advantage of it. And then the next, you know, DLC comes out, and boom, happens again. It's like over and over. Like, I could just think off the top of my head how many of those runs in The Division where, you know, they came out and people were finding ways to hack, you know, and glitch through the wall and beat the thing. Or in Neverwinter, I know that I used to play a trickster rogue character in there, and there was a glitch in the game when you use your Shadow of Demise, like, ultimate ability, where you could pretty much do like 10 times the normal damage you were supposed to and hit things for like millions of damage and like one-shot bosses and stuff. That glitch literally stayed in the game for like 7 months. I'm not even over-exaggerating. I was doing it. I know. That game was in the, that glitch was in the game for like 7 months. And then what did they do? Instead of like taking it out, they just pretty much killed the entire Trickster Rogue character and made it be terrible. Another, you know, thing happens in these games is that there's bad developers and there's no support. You know, they know these things are out there. Either they don't know how to fix them or they don't care enough to fix them. So when people are complaining about it, like on social media and so on and so forth, they just don't offer any support. People are saying, hey, there's a lot of these things that are broken in the game, we need it fixed. And you'll never get any response from them. And if you do get a response, it's just like so generic, like they don't even care. It's just bad developers. Another thing about bad developers is that, like I said, they're just bad because they don't know how to properly implement code and stuff in the game to make the game work correctly. So then when something breaks in the game, and when something comes out and it's not working as intended, like that Trickster Rogue thing in Neverwinter, or like some of the stuff that was going on inside of Tom Clancy's The Division, well, it came out not working as intended, but they're so dumb, they don't even know how to fix it. So they just ignore it and ignore people for like weeks and months until they finally figure out how to fix it. Then they roll it out. You know, and that's another thing about bad developers. They take forever to address issues. Bad games and bad developers, they just take forever to address issues. And that's one of the main things I really like about FortNite. It seems that they do updates for this game like every 3 to 4 days. And every single week, they're adding something new into the game. It like never fails. So you could see this game of cat and mouse I'm playing right now. I literally have only killed one person this entire game. And yeah, I don't know where this guy is, but luckily I got this rocket launcher and I'm just chilling in here because the circle is getting very, very small right now. And you guys are about to see what happens. Another things, man, that, you know, that just kills the gaming for me is when they put a whole bunch of microtransactions in the game before actually fixing the game. Neverwinter was pretty much all about this. Like every single Thursday, like clockwork, you could see they have new stuff in the item shop, new things you can buy with real money. But yet, people are complaining about glitches and, you know, things not working as intended in the game for months and weeks upon a time. And they're not fixing these things at all. But yet every single week they could be sure to tweet out, oh, we have new items in the item shop. Make sure you get this brand new thing. Make sure you get this brand new chest. No. Stop trying to rob people for their money and fix the things that people are complaining about. And then maybe after you fix things and show us you care about the game, then we'll actually spend some money on the game to help support you back in return for you supporting us. You know, just microtransactions in general just ruin games, especially when they focus so much on microtransactions and trying to sell you stuff and trying to sell you more DLC before they even implement changes for things that are not working as intended, for bugs in the game, for hacks in the game, for glitches in the game, and just game-breaking changes in general. Game-breaking changes is terrible. It's like, you know, when they have, let's go back, you know, to The Division, where like you had to go into Dark Zone in order to find this special material, but you could only get a certain amount. And then, you know, after a month, for some reason, they just said, oh, we're just going to lower the amount you can get so nobody can get as much. Like, that's a game-breaking change that made a lot of people not want to go back in there, that made a lot of people not want to go ahead and spend time to gather the materials and the resources they needed, because just for no reason, after a month, you guys decide, oh, we're just going to half the amount that you can possibly get. Or in Neverwinter, when they say, oh, you know what? I know you like this one thing, this lifesteal thing, but you know what? It's been in the game for a year and people are relying on it too much, so we're just going to change it all and take it completely out the game. After people have spent money on their characters, have spent money buying microtransaction things to specifically utilize that feature, then you take it out of the game and no recourse, no repercussion. So in general, the number one thing I hate about games and number one thing I hate about gaming is when you have a great game and the developers just pretty much put it to crap by the things I just talked about in this video. Just glitches, bugs, hacks, bad developers, no support, developers that take forever to address issues or don't know how to, microtransactions in games and DLC before fixing the issues instead of them trying to sell you more stuff before fixing issues, game-breaking changes. All that stuff will just deplete the player base, and that's what I hate the most about gaming. So anyway, man, I want to know from you guys, what do you hate the most about gaming? Have you played games that, you know, that pretty much suffered the same fate of some of the things I've talked about in this game, that had, you know, like games that you love so much, and then a matter of like 6 months to a year, the game just went to crap because of all the things I talked about in the game. If you have played some of those games, let me know in the comment section, and also let me know in the comment section, you know, what are the things that you hate about gaming the most? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And all that good stuff. So anyway, man, I got that victory. I got that W. I made that guy fall like Alicia Keys. He was falling, baby. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up like button. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man, and tell your friends about me so they can subscribe to my videos, they can view my channel, and then you can help a brother out. So anyway, YouTube, this is the Assist Man, and until next time, I am out.